Hey! Is the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Fair enough.
So I couldn't figure out how I want to start the show today. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a blessed morning. I hope all of the things that God has in store for you are either there or you're on your path to them. So I want to be clear about something. I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. I'm neither Democrat nor Republican. I have no political affiliation. I'm entirely about whatever the policy is and how close that policy is connected with what God wants for us. That's it. So when you hear me speaking on any topic or about any political personality, figure, character, elected official, unelected official, understand that every comment and remark is censored through the scope of, is what they're trying to give to us something that God wants us to have? So the reason why I say this is important is because often I think we make many of our decisions based off of what we want, which, just so we can be clear, is not necessarily a negative thing. But when I have elected officials that can't clap for a cancer survivor, how can I want that? When I have elected officials that can applaud a peaceful end to a war, there's a problem. Because these are things that, in what I believe, in my faith with God, what I believe are things that we should applaud. Let me show you a clip real quick. I have little to no beef at all with the Democratic voting public. And one of the main reasons why is because I know that many people just want to do the right thing. And the Democrats' entire platform is we just gonna go, we want to do the right thing. If you want to do the right thing, you're gonna vote for us. That's their whole entire platform. Their platform is not based off of we want to have a good economy. Their platform isn't based off of we want to keep the streets safe. Their platform isn't based off of any of that.
Look, let me tell you something. I'll take a bit of umbrage here. I'll speak on behalf of my colleagues. I think I can say we are all willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people and advancing progress. I think I can say we are all willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people. I think I can say we are all willing to work with anyone who's serious about doing the work of censoring the American people.
You don't care about this country, and that is unacceptable if you claim to be the president of the United States. So we are here. We are not going anywhere. We are going to continue to fight back, and we are going to continue to speak lies to his truth, to his stealing, and to his cheating. Thank you. The president of the United States. So we are here. We are not going anywhere. We are going to continue to fight back, and we are going to continue to speak lies to his truth, to his stealing, and to his cheating. Thank you.
So I say, before we even have and get into the discussion of the whole Donald Trump thing last night, I got a lot. I just think it's more important, before I point out what happened at the Congressional, speech hearing. He was addressing, it was a congressional address, that I just point out a couple of things. Because the behavior of the Democrats last night was atrocious. It was despicable. They're your representatives, people who you have voted into office. So now, there are Democrats out there that y'all love America. Whether you were born here or whether you came from somewhere else and you're here now. You love America. And you might also vote Democrat. You see, Trump won, but Trump didn't just win. The Democrats lost. When you have a person that normally votes Democrat and they can't send their daughters to school to use the bathroom, because now we have individuals genetically born as males that are in the bathroom. And it's just, that's women's spaces. When you're a person who generally votes Democrat and you're sending your child to school, and now your little boy is coming home and he wants to wear dresses because of the influences that he's getting from the school. So you go to the school and you address these things and they tell you, you are being a bad parent. They know what's best for your child. When you are a person who normally votes Democrat, and you're looking and you're seeing, my daughter, she was, top of the state or the city in X sport. But now that team over there, and that team over there, and that team over there, they got boys on the team. Oh, my fault. Trans boys or trans? I don't know how that works. But they had individuals who were born male who are now on these teams. Not only is that taking opportunity away from my daughter, but now competition isn't fair. And for anybody that thinks different, females literally have less bone density than men. If you don't understand why bone density is important, then I don't know what to tell you. So when I tell you that the Democrats, that Trump didn't just win, the Democrats lost. So when I see a cancer survivor show up at the congressional address and the Democrats can't applaud the fact that he beat death and he's thriving, how do you vote for these people? When a mother and a sister of somebody who was attacked by an illegal, and I want to be clear on this, that particular illegal didn't just break into the country, but at one point or another, they were arrested. They were in the custody of the police. And the police, after they committed the other crime and the crime of breaking into the country, just let them go. Because it was a sanctuary city. So now we don't have any more Laken Riley. And when her mother and her sister show up in her name, and the Democrats can't applaud, how do you vote for these people? Trump gets a letter from Zelensky. And now Zelensky is speaking about peace. These are all things we're going to discuss, by the way. Everything I'm talking about. We're going to discuss at length. While talking about this letter, Trump says, basically, that there's a chance for peace between the Ukraine and Russia. And just so we can be clear, what peace would mean is that people will stop dying. Forget everything else that peace means. Forget the monies, forget the weapons, forget everything. People will stop dying. That's the goal. So when Trump says that there's a chance for peace and the Democrats don't clap, but they do clap when Trump mentions a 6-year war, I need an explanation. How do you vote for these people? So I don't say any of this to attack the Democratic voter. I believe you guys were just lied to. I believe y'all were led to believe that the things that are secular and are that shouldn't be the impetus for your decision on who you should vote for. They made it that. the most important reason why you should vote for this candidate is for the rights of women to have abortions, even though the person that they're going against isn't trying to prevent abortions. I need for you to make that make sense. They literally ran with no platform. They had no platform. Right now, their party has zero position that the American people agree with. Because even the people who are die-hard Democrats that are sensible now see, you know what? Maybe this isn't the same Democratic Party I grew up on. So I'm going to tell you what I believe is happening. You just got to get rid of the people on the top. There are a ton of Democratic politicians, I believe, in my heart, that if given the opportunity, they would do much better for your party than the people who are currently running it. They just need the opportunity. So y'all got to stop voting for these Nancy Pelosi's. Y'all got to stop. Who's the dude that got thrown out last night? He's a whole clown, and we're going to talk about that. But y'all got to stop voting for these people that don't want to grow with the times. And at this point, it's not even about growing with the times, because who in the hell want to go to war when peace is possible? I need for somebody to explain this to me. Who wants to go to war when peace is possible? Let's look at some clips. Because at this point, hold on, before we get to clips, we got some news articles. At this point, I just don't believe okay, hold on, we're not going to get to that. Why do I have that twice? Why did they send that to me twice? That's the only way I can have it twice. Hold on. All right, see, I just spoke on this dude. This thing that's popped up right now. Let's just talk about this for 2 seconds. All right, so this is the dude that got thrown out. So I'm going to tell you what I believe what was going to happen. What I believe what was going to happen, or what the Democrats was planning, was the Democrats were planning on being in there and having like a raucous, they were going to make ruckus, basically. First time I said raucous, but they were going to make a ruckus, basically. Like that was their intention. We're going to go in there. Every time Trump is doing or saying something, we're going to boo, yada, yada, this and this and that. We're going to get up. We're going to be disruptive. Now, before we go any further, do y'all know who was the Chinese dictator? Mao? So this dude had a strategy that they used to use, the communist roots of China. I keep telling you the Democratic Party is communist. I keep saying it over and over and over. And that's why I keep trying to say, don't be too upset at the people who keep voting Democrat. If they knew, soon we'll be able to get a better idea, after Trump is doing what he's doing, what they were actually doing. Because you need a steep contrast sometimes, in any regard. So one of the things that this dude used to do, the communist roots of Chinese, so you can understand, like this guy, he was a guy. So one of the tactics that this dude used to do is that he would send college students or college-aged students places. And when they get to these places, while whoever the individual is, oh yeah, I'm going to use that word too. Wasn't I just using this word? So I was there. That's probably what happened. I just probably saw it and didn't realize I saw it. So just so we could be clear, he used to send people to like where there's going to have a meeting, the other party is going to have a speech, or they're going to be, standing at a podium somewhere, somewhere out in public or whatever the case might be. And what they'll do is they'll send these college age students to be in the crowd and to yell out, just to create confusion. So that's what I believe they were trying to do. I believe more people were going to do it. I believe the Al Green dude was just first. And I believe that's one of the reasons why you have people like, what's that crazy chick, Jasmine Crockett? She shot a whole music video or something while Trump was busy doing this. These people don't care about the American people. They just care about their own interest. And anyway, the Democratic Representative Al Green, he does not sing, by the way. I have no idea, Mike. Al Green of Texas, the same place Jasmine Crockett's from also, ain't it? I don't know. Y'all got to do better, fam. Democratic Rep Al Green of Texas repeatedly interrupted President Trump early on during the speech of the joint session of Congress, waving around his cane and shouting at the commander-in-chief. Initially, Trump tried to speak over him, but Green, 77, persisted, shouting, "You don't have a mandate." Just so we could be clear what that means is, so Trump does have a mandate from the American people because he won the popular vote. And like I said before, his particular politics or what the Republican Party or his position was, what they wanted to do for America was contrastly different with what was going on at the time, obviously, because of all the changes that need to be made. So that's basically saying that there was a mandate put in by the American people to do different than what we're currently doing. And the proof of that is that he won the popular vote. More people voted for him in America than voted against him or voted for the other individual. So that's how come he actually does have a mandate from the American people. So when Al Green is shouting, "You don't have a mandate," once again, just so we could be clear, this is the Democrats' entire strategy about everything. This is the Democrats' entire strategy. Hold on. This is their strategy.
You don't care about
Just
this
so we can
country,
be
and that is unacceptable if you claim to be the president of the United States. So we are here. We are not going anywhere. We are going to continue to fight back, and we are going to continue to speak lies to his truth, to his stealing, and to his cheating. Thank you.
So that's the Democrat strategy. Shabazz Sekhmet. Okay, I'm just gonna call you Sheba. I'm just gonna call you Sheba. Is that good? L. I just call you L. They said it was gonna plan to disrupt days before. Well, boom. So all right. So we on the same time. We still, whether they said it or they didn't say it, is still something that we have to discuss because we go into a whole nother point also. This is just, we're doing steps, fam. It's just steps. I appreciate your comments, by the way. Green, and please comment whenever you feel something is necessary. Appreciate you. Green, who represents a district in the Houston area. What in the heck is up with Houston? I think that's the same place that the other chick is from. The chick is from, Jasmine Crockett. Says Green, who represents a district in Houston, also pointed his finger at Trump on a few occasions. He briefly quieted down to let Trump speak so that he could interject again. So once again, this is my point that I'm generally trying to make whenever we're speaking about the Democrats and their particular brand of politics. They don't have a position or point. All they have is things that they want to do that the American people do not benefit from. I need for you to tell me one thing that they are doing that the American people as a majority benefit from, not some small group of people. All right? Don't make it seem like all women do is dream about having abortions. Because the way the Democrats make it seem is like the freaking women are just sitting around like, I can't wait to have that abortion. You know what? I'm going to have 3 this year. Women are not sitting around doing this, fam. And if they are, that's a mental health problem. Now, needing an abortion, for whatever your reason might be, is one thing. But practicing unsafe sex habits because you know that a baby could be aborted is another thing. That whole getting everybody stuck on abortion BS, I can't even explain to you how that makes me feel. I literally be like, what in the heck is wrong with people? Why is it so important for to have an abortion? For everyone. Like, how many instances are happening that aren't just reckless sex, that people need this in the course of a month? I'm not talking about people that's practicing unsafe sex habits, because another thing that happens when you practice unsafe sex habits is STDs. I'm talking about situations that are tragic. So yes, I think I don't want any woman to lose her life because of a pregnancy. I also don't believe that if somebody is raped. So I do believe that there's reasons, as far as I know, for the process to exist. I just don't think that having your whole presidential platform built on this, when the person who you're going to try to defeat isn't even trying to do anything negative to prevent it, makes any sense. I need to go to a commercial break real quick. Be right back.
About your future, right? Let me be completely honest with you. Application process, competition level, and all the things that you need to fill out is absolutely brutal. Listen, I understand you're freaking out if you're looking at all the application stuff. I'm here for you. First, you don't want to disappoint your parent. Second, you want to be at the top when it compared to your friends because they are your competition. 3, the most important one, how are you even going to afford this? Are you going to be able to afford the loans? Are your parents going to be able to afford it? Are you going to get it done? And finally, to me, the most important, what is it that you're going to do in college? You want to be able to go there and actually enjoy your future. So is it really going to be worth it? Absolutely. Hi, my name is Gregory Address, and I am a college coach, college advisor, and an educator. Over the last 10 years, I've had hundreds of students just like you get into the prestigious universities like Cornell, NYU, Columbia, and Harvard. Comment education below to get a free checklist from me so it can be an easier process for you to where you want to be.
All right, so we back. There's some coffee maker right there. So it's gonna be making a little bit of noise for a second. So let's just go through this article real quick, and we got another thing that we're gonna get to. So we got a ton of stuff we're gonna get to based on this. Republicans seated on the other side of the chamber quickly hit back with chants of USA seeping to drown out. I'm gonna say something. How can you vote for a political figure when the chants of the country that you are from is negative to them? I need for you to understand that. Chants of USA, people chanting USA, USA, that's negative to the Democrats. How? Sometimes you just gotta sit back. Imagine chants of Wakanda forever being negative to Black Panther. Imagine if you be like, Wakanda forever, Black Panther be like, I'm gonna get you. This don't make sense. How y'all voting for these people? Like, this is a real question. How are y'all voting for these people? How are you voting for somebody that chants of the country that they are a politician in is actually negative? They're heels. The Democrats are America's heels. H-E-E-L-S. So do it. Let me before somebody be like, what is he talking about? A video games is? No. Heels. One second. They're America's heels. The Democrats. How in the heck is chance of the country that you have been elected as an official in be negative to you? How can that be something that is chastising towards you? Could somebody please explain this to me? I'm here, I'm listening, open ears. The heck just happened? They just kicked all of y'all out? That's crazy. They just kicked everybody out of my chat. Anyway. Explain to me how that makes sense. I need somebody to explain that. I'm gonna need somebody to explain that. Oh, I see what I was looking at. I'm gonna need somebody to explain that. I'm just gonna need somebody to explain how that makes sense. How is chants of USA something that should be chastising towards an elected official in the country of the United States of America? So that was just bananas to me. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, what in the hell? How y'all voting for these people? With all due respect. How y'all voting for these people? I don't understand how you voting for these people. I honestly don't understand it. Like, real talk. All right, so let's get to the next point real quick. But because I thought that was crazy. Like, they really thought that they were going to be able to sit over there on their side and yell and scream the whole entire time that Trump was up there talking. Do you know how mentally ill that is? Like, that's mentally ill. Remember, that's what they tell y'all guys to do. And then they applaud y'all when y'all get arrested. But only one of them got let out, and them niggas shut the fuck up. Part of my language. That's the same stuff they tell y'all to do. And then when y'all go get 20 of y'all, 30 of y'all, 40 of y'all, 100 of y'all get arrested, they clap. They say, great job. One of them got kicked out the building and them niggas shut up. How y'all voting for these people? With all due respect. Let's show some clips. How y'all voting for them, man? With all due respect. I'm not even hating, man. All due respect. All right, I got a ton of stuff that I want to show y'all that got to deal with the Ukraine also, but we're not talking about the Ukraine at the minute. But we will show this clip because this type of stuff.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
You should see her face. Like when they let him out, like her whole face dropped. And that's when Jasmine Crockett. That's when I think Jasmine Crockett decided she was going to get up and leave. Like her whole face went down and they let him have it. I don't know if this clip shows it, but her whole face went down. Because they really thought that they were going to be able to be in there and be disruptive. These people don't have no decorum. But at the same time, they talk about mean tweets from Trump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House. Mr. President, you continue.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how people are electing them. So I don't understand why this person.
Democrats tonight were so pathetic. They couldn't even stand for Laken Riley's family, Jocelyn Nungary, his mother, a slain officer's wife, Stephanie Diller. They couldn't even stand for a beautiful 13-year-old cancer survivor who dreams of being a police officer and tonight became a Secret Service agent, DJ Daniel. He said, "This is my 5th time at a joint address from President Trump. And sadly, there is nothing this president could do or say that would make these Democrats stand and cheer. This has now become a party of rage and hate, a radicalized party reduced to a collective temper tantrum, sitting on their hands, doing nothing for the American people. But tonight, this is also a defeated party. No solutions, no coherent message, no plan for the future, simply reduced to political stunts and smears and outright lies."
What the fuck are they talking about? Like, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? Like, I want to know what in the hell they are talking about.
You don't care about this country, and that is unacceptable if you claim to be the president of the United States.
Why are they talking about his taxes?
We are here. We are not going anywhere. We are going to continue to fight back, and we are going to continue to speak lies to his truth, to his stealing, and to his cheating. Thank you.
Like, what are they talking about?
I attended President Trump's State of the Union address in Washington, D.C. tonight. Let me tell you what I saw. Better yet, let me tell you what I didn't see. I did not see Democrats stand and applaud a child with terminal brain cancer who was in the room. I did not see Democrats stand and applaud and honor the life and memory of young girls like Laken Riley or 12-year-old Jocelyn, who lost their lives to illegal gang members before their grieving parents who were in the room. I did not see Democrats stand and applaud an American who had been falsely and innocently imprisoned in Russia, who had recently been returned, who was in the room with his 95-year-old mother. I did not see Democrats stand and applaud a balanced budget. I mean, I could go on and on and on. But you know what I did see the Democrats stand and applaud? The only thing they stood and cheered for was Ukraine. And I don't mean peace in Ukraine, because when President Trump mentioned his efforts to end the Russian-Ukrainian war, they didn't cheer for that. They only cheered when President Trump mentioned we have given Ukraine over $350 billion in taxpayer funds. They clapped for the continued funding of war in Ukraine. The Democratic Party, and I don't mean Democrats, I mean the Democratic Party. So in terms of elected representation and certainly how left-leaning media portrays the Democrats, they're no longer American. They don't love our country. They don't love our flag. They don't love the American people. They are soulless. They are insufferable. It can only be described as immoral and evil. Tonight was proof for me that Democrats will literally stand for anything but America and its people.
So I didn't even turn my mic off. I should have probably turned my mic off. You heard my mouse clicking and shit. In any regard, let's get back to what we're talking about. So in any regard, a couple things I want to be clear about. And I don't want there to be no misunderstanding. The Democratic Party currently is not in favor of the American people. That's all I'm trying to express. I got a ton of other stuff we got to get to. The Democratic Party, in my opinion, is not currently in favor of the American people. They're just not. When you have situations like this.
I attended President Trump's State of the Union address in Washington.
Let's get to this, right? Let's get to this real quick.
Last year, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Laken Riley, the best in her class, admired by everybody, went out for a jog on the campus of the University of Georgia. That morning, Laken was viciously attacked, assaulted, beaten, brutalized, and horrifically murdered. Laken was stolen from us by a savage illegal alien gang member who was arrested while trespassing across Biden's open southern border and then set loose into the United States under the heartless policies of that failed administration. It was indeed a failed administration. He had then been arrested and released in a Democrat-run sanctuary city, a disaster, before ending the life of this beautiful young angel. With us this evening are Laken's beloved mother, Allison, and her sister, Lauren.
So we have a situation where Laken Riley isn't with us anymore. And I explained this a little bit earlier, but I need for you to understand that this is directly a result of the policies that the Democrats have put into existence. Directly. The open border allowed for the illegal to come in without being vetted. After he was here, he went in a sanctuary city. The sanctuary cities have like things where they weren't even allowed to arrest illegals and hold them for any time. So he gets arrested on a crime that they should have held him for or sent him back. Something other than just let him go. And what did they do? They just let him go. Upon them just letting him go, he goes on. At some point, meets up with Laken Riley. I believe she was like on a morning jog. Laken Riley isn't here anymore. So she isn't here directly because of the policies of the Democratic Party. And I can't stress this enough. Many of these policies, they have convinced the American people to be for. How can you be for open borders? Like America doesn't have enemies. America! Y'all don't even like America and you live here. What up, washable marker? And they got y'all believing that these are good policies, apparently. They got y'all believing it's a good policy that when an illegal commits a crime, even a terrible crime, that they should be let right back out because we don't want them to get deported. So even if they commit a heinous crime, we can't hold them because if ICE gets a hold of them, they'll get deported. How can you be for policies like this? How could these be policies that you are for? Please, somebody explain this. I'm lost. I don't understand. So Laken Riley and her sisters there. Pardon me. Rest in peace to Laken Riley. Laken Riley mother and sisters there. The Democrats couldn't even applaud them. They couldn't stand and clap. How heartless could you be? I really don't think people understand the extent of the egregiousness that an elected official is at a ceremony and the grieving family is being recognized and they won't clap or show respect. How are y'all voting for these people? With all due respect. Y'all voting for these people. So, do you know what a ceremony is? A wedding is a ceremony. An awards event is a ceremony. You know what the word ceremony means? Or do you want to get schooled? Or are you just going to just let it go and you don't want me to just show that you need to go and probably, a little bit more school? You don't know what a ceremony is? You think only thing that's a ceremony is like a wedding? Be slow. You get back to what I'm doing. So I want to be clear about something. And he's looking up ceremony right now so he could see if he could try to continue the argument, just so people can know what's going on. He hasn't said anything yet, though. So he's unclear on how stupid they want to look. So that's what's happening right now. Just so you could know. So I suspect that sooner or later they're going to come in with another person and they're going to comment like, no, the other guy's right. I get it. Anyway, so I want to be clear about something. How in the hell don't they get up and clap and show respect? How they don't do that? I don't know how y'all vote for these people. They're as smart as this guy in here that don't even know what the word ceremony mean, while they're trying to actually have a conversation on a political video, on a political discussion. They don't even know what the word ceremony means. Look at them using all of them like quotations and everything. Notice they didn't comment back. real quick, the difference between 1 degree and another degree, generally speaking, usually is your understanding of the language, like your vocabulary. So the larger your vocabulary is, that means that you have a better grasp and a better understanding of different types of things. And like, it's hard for me to explain this, but the difference between like a master's and a PhD and shit like that is generally just your understanding of different words and ideas and things like that, obviously. So when a person doesn't even know what the word ceremony means, can I just say something real quick? So I have a person that I know. I actually like the individual, just so we can be clear. And they have a really bad habit of always trying to sound smarter than they are. They're intelligent. Don't get this confused. They just don't have a really big... Okay, I'm not going to say intelligent. I'm going to say they're not an idiot. And they do have a pretty good grasp of the English language, and they pretty smart. But they're always trying to push it past where they're actually at. So they're always using words that they don't understand all the time, using it incorrectly. And I love the motherfucker. So I just be standing there, well, you know, when I used to know them. So I would just be standing there just the whole entire time. So whenever they see me laughing, they know they used the word wrong. Because I won't say nothing, because I love the individual. I'm not going to embarrass them in front of anybody. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? Later on, I might be like, yo, you know. So, generally speaking, the person would, you know, whenever they see me start laughing when they're talking or like smirking or something like that, they know why I'm doing it. So, you know, generally speaking, it was helpful for them. It's a family member, too. Generally speaking, it was helpful for them. And it's kind of dope. No matter what my family do think or not think about me or whatever, they motherfucking know I'm intelligent, and they will never pretend like I'm not. They will never pretend like I'm not. So
last year,
with that being said, let's get back to some of these clips real quick. So I got a couple of more clips that I want to show y'all about the Democrats' terrible behavior, and then I want to show y'all some stuff about the Ukraine. And then from the Ukraine stuff, we're going to move to tariffs, so you can understand what we're going to be talking about. So I'm going to show you a little bit more about the Democrats just being classless. And then we're going to talk about Zelensky for one moment and Ukraine situation. Excuse me. Let's go to a commercial break.
So if you are a student between the 8th...
about Harvard, Yale, Stanford. Today I'm going to give you 6 colleges that I believe are underrated. So the first university I want to talk about is University of Vermont. It is often overlooked because of its location. Who wants to go to Vermont? But the amount of opportunities that it has in internships and research is definitely one of the reasons why it should be looked into instead of overlooked. So the university number 2, New College of Florida. This one provides an individualized plan for those of you who are interested in humanities, and it's another university you should take a look into. So if we take a look at the university number 3, it is not really known outside of Southern United States, unfortunately. However, it has a lot of opportunity with the Odyssey program, and it gives you research trips, opportunities to make a real impact.
All right, so got something I want to show y'all real quick. This has to be one of the most despicable... Well, first I'm going to show you a clip. Then I'm going to explain why the Democrats are just, at this point, even if I loved the Democrats, like no one in the world could love the Democrats. There's just certain things that, because of my love for God and, you know, my understanding of how we should treat one another, there's just certain things that the Democrats did and are doing and will eventually do that I just cannot be on the side of. So I'm going to show you something real quick.
But you want to know the craziest part? Because my mom bathes me and my brothers all together. and out of nowhere I locked up, and then my dad was calling my name, and I started going to the slow thing, and he said, "Stop playing with me," and I then I started to act, I ain't gonna lie, I started to act slow, and then as soon as he said that, we was speeding all the way, running lights, going to the hospital, and then next thing you know, I was seizing on the table. They said, "Nah, we gonna have to go in his brain tonight." Ever since then, I had 13 brain surgeries, and that's how many times my personality has changed. And that's something that you don't hear from a terminally ill child. They had 5 months to live. I'm gonna keep on going until my gas tanks run out. And that's when God calls you home. You never know when God's gonna call you home. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my dad. And I know he's pretty proud of me, and I'm pretty proud of him too. And I'd like to thank President Trump, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be here today.
So I want to be clear about something. How can you not be happy for that kid? How can you not be happy for that man? I'm not sure if that's a man right now or a kid, but how could you not be happy for that person? Because I don't know how long it's been. You know, the situation happened when he was a child. I believe they said that he lived, you know, they said he only had a couple of months. Now it's been like 5-6 years or something. So how could you not be happy for him and his family? So the Democrats can't clap when honoring at this ceremony, when honoring the family of Laken Riley. They can't clap for that. That's just against. But they also can't clap for DJ Daniels, a cancer survivor. They can't clap for a cancer survivor that has a limited amount of time here, being able to live out the dreams of their life. How could they not clap for that? Shout out to Brandon Washington, salute. How could they not clap for that? And they're going to tell you all of these things about how much they hate Donald Trump. But where's the love? So everyone gets zero love until Donald Trump is going away? No one could get any love? No Americans, at least, because we'll talk about it later. But no one can get any love? I need an explanation. How is this not something that you can applaud? How is this not something that we can look at and be like, yo, look. Or all things, forget everything else. We're going to stand and clap for this young man. He's inspiring. Some woman pledged that stuff for 4 years. Pledged what? I have thought of so many jokes about the whole ceremony thing, and that guy not knowing what a ceremony is, and him probably just thinking that the only way that you can have a ceremony is like with like the big, like anything is like you go through a ceremony when you getting yourself like let me be quiet because I'm just thinking of jokes. No, you don't even got to be on Donald Trump's side. Donald Trump just has to be alive. Donald Trump's alive, so the Democrats can't give anybody love. No, just because he's alive. Because that's generally how evil works. Evil doesn't do evil because you did anything. Evil does evil because evil is evil. Get it? Evil, one of the main things that evil is trying to do and I know I say it the way that I say it, it is what it is trying to instigate good to do evil. It's trying to instigate individuals or situations that can possibly be doing something in the favor of the Most High to do something in the favor of Satan. So whenever you see somebody trying to instigate something negative, know what it is. When you see people trying to instigate fights with people, I still got people following me around, like trying to act like they gonna like this is crazy. But it's happening. You just gotta deal. It is what it is, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Brandon Washington says they had to come up with a new disorder for people. TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. Sorry, but that's bonkers. No, I consider Trump derangement syndrome to be a actual medical problem. I think it's an actual medical problem. I think some people need to literally go get some assistance, whether it's a conversation with somebody or whether it's some kind of repressive drugs. I don't like drugs that repress shit. So maybe but I think this is a real thing. I think Trump derangement syndrome is a real thing. I think that it's really a mental disorder that people have. I think it's a real thing. How can you not applaud a cancer survivor that is having the opportunity to live out their dreams that without this opportunity, they would have never had? How can you not applaud a family of someone who was tragically taken away, that a whole entire Laken Riley Act has been created about? Whereas if an illegal comes into the country and, does certain crimes, I think they get like immediate death penalty or something. Like, how are you not applauding these things? How are you? Democrats are generally mad if an actual illegal that committed a crime gets arrested. Like, they're mad at this. I need an explanation. I think all of the American people need an explanation why criminals can't be put in jail unless they're American. You do understand that, right? The Democrats only want Americans in jail. They don't want none of the illegals locked up. They don't care what crimes illegals commit. They don't want them locked up. I don't know how you guys are voting for these people. I'm asking for you to explain. That's bonkers. I don't know what to tell you. Did somebody write bonkers? Yes, you did. I had to click off the thing to look under something to see it. My brain. So hold on. Let's see what the media had to say about this particular situation. And just so we could be clear, this media is obviously left-wing media, right? Let's see what the left-wing media had to say.
I think this was a lesson in finding one thing that you let yourself feel. And I let myself feel joy about DJ. And I hope he's alive for another, 95 years, right? And I hope he lives and the life he wants to live. He wants to be a cop. He knows what he wants to do. And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people.
Okay, so I need somebody to explain to me how this is not a mental disorder. I need somebody to explain to me how that's... all of their arguing points is based off of what ifs. What if this? What if that? And none of these what ifs ever even come close to happening, by the way. So they haven't been right about something. So when they come up to you and say, what if? You're like, wow, they was right about X, Y, and Z. You know, maybe they got a point here. No, they've been wrong. You know, by a lot. Like, they wasn't wrong by this much. They be wrong like by my finger here, and then we gonna go that way around the earth and come back to my finger here. They be wrong by that much. Let's talk about Zelensky for a moment, because that was one instance where they applauded. When Trump said, do y'all want a 6-year war, they applauded. And you could audibly hear somebody in the background, which apparently it was Pocahontas. What's that chick name? I forget what her name is. All of those people are terrible. But you could hear somebody in the background when Trump says, do y'all want a 6-year war? And they said yes. They clapped for that. They refused to clap for peace, but they clapped for war.
Letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine. The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
What y'all can't see right now, but I'm going to give you a good... So, you see where his words are on the bottom? Where it says, President reads a letter from Zelensky asking U.S. for peace talks. So, that's where the Democrats are sitting. And when I say sitting, they're literally still sitting. So, when the Ukraine say they're ready to talk war, Zelensky says peace. When he says they're ready to talk peace, the Democrats, they are against that. But whenever he talks about they're ready to do war, they're for that. I'll engage in this comment. The focus should be on healthcare, Jack. So just so we could be clear, this individual who has a name that I can't read or won't read thinks that the only thing that we should be thinking about is healthcare. We shouldn't be thinking about the illegals, which we were discussing, just so we could be clear. We shouldn't think about the illegals, which are in America killing people. Right? We shouldn't discuss those. We shouldn't discuss the decorum that the Democrats have, because we're discussing that. We're discussing the behavior of the individuals that you're electing. That's not important. So elect anyone. We're about to talk about the war that's happening in the Ukraine and all of the monies that we're sending over there and the possibility of thousands of people dying, but that's not important. Do you understand how these people operate? Everything that I'm saying is on point, so they can't argue and say I don't know what I'm talking about. So now they just say I'm talking about the wrong thing. Do you get it? Anyway. So Democrats love war, apparently, because when Trump says we want to stop the war, the Democrats are not necessarily for it. But when Trump says we want the war to continue, the Democrats,
we are going to continue to
100%.
speak lies to his truth.
$40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is.
We are going to continue to speak lies to his truth, to his stealing, and to his cheating.
$8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of. $8 million for making mice transgender. This is real.
Lies to his truth.
Also, might I add, these are billions of dollars that we're talking about that's being wasted. And so I think that's important. Also, in addition with healthcare.
$47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. I don't know what we're doing. We should use it ourselves. Under the Trump administration, all of these scams, and they're far worse, but I didn't think it was appropriate.
We are here. We are not going anywhere. We are going to continue to fight back, and we are going to continue to speak lies to his truth, to his stealing, and to his cheating. Thank you.
Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion.
That's long. That's not for right now. I thought that was something else. So I want to be clear on something. Did y'all just hear all of the things that the Democrats still want us to pay for? Did y'all just hear all of the things that the Democrats still want the American people to pay for? Did you hear those things? I'm curious. Are you for those things? They were giving sex changes to mice. You think that's where our tax money should be going? Ain't that crazy? How the Democrats think our tax money should be going to animals and illegals. But when Donald Trump tries to give the money back to the American people, they say basically that that's unconstitutional. I need somebody to explain that to me. I think these are good questions. And I know there's people that don't know what I'm talking about. Hold on, let me show you. Yeah, I'm talking about a thing. I'm saying a thing. So for everybody that don't know, it's not a stimulus check so much. I think they're like reclassifying it or renaming it like something else or something. They're trying to find like a name to give it or whatever the case is. But the money that DOGE finds, Trump wants to give 20% of the money back to the American public. And the Democrats are against this. So I need for you to explain to me I need somebody to explain this to me. I have the clip. What am I doing? No, I got the clip. It's probably dumb far. I'm just gonna look real quick. Boom, boom. But the Democrats apparently are against giving money to the American people, but they're 100% for giving money to everyone else. I need for somebody to explain this to me. I got so many videos in queue over here. Like, I'm looking through so many at the same time right now. It's bananas. Like, I would love to show y'all what I'm looking at. Like, I'm reading a crap load of things. I'm trying to talk at the same time. But, I mean, I'm doing a pretty good job for the most part. All right, so I don't know where it's at. But it's, what's her name speaking? What's that girl? What's that woman? Hold on. What's her name? Jasmine Crockett, right? Crockett? How you spell Crockett? Oh, there we go. Crockett against, right? Right? So, Jasmine Crockett against refund to the American people. This is bananas. This is what type of time the Democrats is on. So they're just going to be against anything that Trump wants to do. What did I tell y'all a while ago? I heard that Trump's game plan was. I told y'all what I heard Trump's game plan was, right? Look, Jasmine Crockett mocked for wildly hypocritical comments about DOGE checks for America. Just so y'all can understand what we're talking about. So there's monies. Oh, which I'm on the wrong screen. Just so y'all can understand what we're talking about. Sorry about that. We're on the wrong screen. So I'm on the right screen now. So Jasmine Crockett mocked for wildly hypocritical comments against DOGE checks for America. So basically, they was talking about they're going to give $5,000 to people. And once again, the Democrats are against the money. Y'all know everybody would have got a bigger stimulus check the first time if it wasn't for the Democrats, right? Remember, Trump wanted to give everybody like $2,000 or something like that. Like, he wanted to give people thousands of dollars. And the Democrats went against it, and then all of a sudden, it kept going down, down, down until it got to like $1,500. Everybody forgets that happened. Why are the Democrats so against the American people having money? Why are the Democrats trying to always give our resources to other people but don't want the American people to have any resources? You know why, right? Y'all know why. I don't think I need to say it. I think even if, like, you know why. No one takes the corn from the field and then bring back the corn and throw more corn into the field because the field needs more corn. Nobody does that. Nobody says, oh, you know what? Let me put some of that corn back in the field. If you get it, you get it. Nobody does that. And I'm not, well, you probably should, assuming biodegradable materials are generally good fertilizer, right? So that might not be the best analogy. But you do understand the concept of the idea in which I'm preaching. So why would they come back and give the American people any money if they're the ones that's taking our resources, that they're using our resources for the things that they want to do in the world? That's why you can't get anything from Democrats. That's why the Democrats don't give us anything. We're a resource that they take things from. Why would they give us anything? That doesn't make sense. That would be going against their best interests. And more importantly than going against their best interests, that's literally going against their nature. Their nature is not to give anything back. And when I say Democrats, I'm talking about the greater Democrat. I'm talking about the people in charge. The party can always change, just as long as the people in charge change. Trump said something that was probably the biggest mic drop of the night. Second biggest. The Pocahontas thing was dope. Probably the biggest. And that's when he said, we didn't need a bill to fix the border. We just needed a new president. So sometimes you just need the people in charge to change. You understand? The problem sometimes is the people in charge. So when I'm saying all of these things about the Democratic Party, I'm speaking from the aspect of the people in charge have set down a mandate that the people that's under them have to follow. If we change the people in charge, the mandate changes. Therefore, the party changes. Therefore, the party now will be able to operate preferably, hopefully, at a different capacity than what they've currently been doing. Right now, I don't believe that the Democratic Party to be doing anything that is favorable for the American people. I think generally speaking, everything that they're doing is hurting the American people. And they're even hurting people abroad. Give you a perfect example. Let's talk about the Zelensky matter. So Zelensky pulls up to go have a meeting with the president. Now, two things are so important about this. Three things are so important about this, right? The first one is it wasn't necessary. He could have just signed the paperwork and sent it to them. They didn't need to be face to face. This was something Zelensky wanted, I believe, or for whatever the reason is, they was face to face. But the one thing that is a fact is that Zelensky is the one that wanted the media there. Now, the third thing that's so important is right before the meeting with the president, he had a meeting with members of with different political politicians, American politicians. Why are you having a meeting with them right before you have a meeting with the president, which now makes you late to the meeting with the president, allegedly? So he goes into this meeting and then now he wants the media there, and he's changing the parameters of the already agreed to deal. And not just that, he's talking crazy to Trump in front of the world. He was talking crazy. Cursed out JD. Like, I don't care if you like or dislike the president. When I used to see them doing stuff to Joe Biden that made Joe Biden look lame, and it be another country specifically, I'd be like, damn, fam. I'm probably laughing also, but it's not something that I want to happen because I understand that makes America look weak on the global platform. So why would they want, if they are American citizens and love America, why would they want a president from another country to come into the White House and show up our president? Why would you want that? The only way you could want something like that to happen is if you do not like America, fam. So hold on. I got a couple of more things I want to show real quick. All right, so did I show
Earlier today, I received an important letter from President Zelensky of Ukraine.
Not 100%.
The letter reads, Ukraine is ready to come to the negotiating table as soon as possible to bring lasting peace closer. Nobody wants peace more than the Ukrainians, he said. My team and I stand ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership to get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter, just got it a little while ago. Simultaneously, we've had serious discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Yeah, I'm going to need a commercial break real quick. Right back.
right now because you chose peace over drama and distance over disrespect.
Everybody knows about Harvard, Yale, Stanford. Today I'm going to give you 6 colleges that I believe are underrated. So the first university I want to talk about is University of Vermont. It is often overlooked because of its location. Who wants to go to Vermont? But the amount of opportunities that it has in internships and research is definitely one of the reasons why it should be looked into instead of overlooked. So the university number 2, New College of Florida. This one provides an individualized plan for those of you who are interested in humanities, and it's another university you should take a look into. So if we take a look at the university number 3, it is not really known outside of Southern United States, unfortunately. However, it has a lot of opportunity with the Odyssey program, and it gives you research trips, opportunities to make a real impact.
Yeah, I took way too long by accident. So, I want to be clear about something.
Earlier today, I received an important letter from
Zelensky is now ready to talk about peace. I'll break it down real quick why I believe this is happening. So, this is what I believe happened. Obviously, this is just me talking. So, what I believe happened was when the Democrats met with Zelensky, one of the things they wanted them to do was they did not want they need the war to continue. So Zelensky in no way could have agreed with the war continuing. And that's why they wanted the media to be there. Because one of the things that the Democrats is always trying to do when you don't agree with what they're trying to get happening is they try to shame you into doing the thing that they want you to do. So even though they are wrong, even if, pardon me, not even though, because, you know, we're talking about varying situations and they're not always wrong. So even if they are wrong, what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to shame you into just going with whatever, going against whatever your best interest is. I used to know a person, I don't speak to them no more, but I used to know a person that used to always try to do that to me. Anytime I was trying to do anything that was in my best interest or I would have benefited from, they used to always try to make it seem like I was being selfish. Like the only way I'm not being selfish is if they benefit. So they have to benefit of everything that I do. If I do anything at all and they don't benefit, then I'm being selfish. So that's the Democrats. That's narcissism. Because that's how narcissists believe. You're not allowed to do anything unless they benefit. So what I believe happened was he was told that he cannot agree to any peace deal unless Trump say X, Y, and Z. Trump was not going to say X, Y, and Z. So, therefore, he carried on the way that he did. I believe the idea was for them to make no resolution. I believe that the idea was for there to be no agreement, that for there to be a conflict. Because remember, I'm going to go back to something I keep telling y'all that happens to me. So you know how I keep telling y'all, I got these individuals that try to come talk to me so they could try to instigate an argument and then be the victim? That's what Zelensky was doing. Literally. That's the Democrats' #1 move. To start a problem, create a situation in hopes that you do anything at all, either emotional or that they can say is emotional, even if they're doing something that emotional response would make sense. So even if your response makes sense, anyone else would have responded the same exact way in your situation. They're going to try to make it seem like you did something that was egregious. That's the Democrats' whole playbook. That's the #1 thing that they do. That's why whenever I see somebody being like how much they hate Trump, and I'll be like, why? And then Sometimes they have a reason. A lot of times they have no reason. Or they can say it's racist and there's stuff that they can't quantify. But sometimes they be like trying to like say a thing. And then I'll be like, in my brain, I'll be like, because I'll know the situation. So in my brain, I try to explain first. Like, no, the Democrats did this though. Like, I'll give you a perfect example. So, you know how in Texas they was talking about they was trying to take the whatever books out of the schools that was talking about slavery and all this other stuff. And they was talking about civil rights books and stuff like that was trying to be taken out of the schools. So, you know how they were saying that that's what the Republicans was trying to do. But that's not what the Republicans was trying to do. But I get into these arguments with people where they say the Republicans are racist because they was trying to take all of the books out of the schools that had to deal with slavery because they don't want people to learn about slavery. And then I got to say, nah, that's not what happened. What happened was this. The Democrats were putting the books into the schools that was about child on child sex. The Republicans were against that. So the Republicans said, nah, this ain't happening. So what the Democrats did and got those books reclassified as books that were in the same category with the civil rights books. So now they can't take these. That's how come all of these books are still in a lot of these schools. For everybody that don't know, they can't take them out of the schools because they have these they have these books classified under like civil rights shit. So the only way to fight these books being in the schools, you have to fight civil rights. The Democrats did that. The Republicans wasn't trying to take the books that talking about the history of slavery out of the schools. They was trying to take the sex books out of the schools. The Democrats just went and had all of those books just categorized as the same books. So now in order to get one books out, you got to go try to get all of the books out. But when you try to have this conversation with people, they can't understand it because to them, that didn't happen. But that's literally what happened. To them, no, that's not what happened. Something else happened. That couldn't have been that. That's why I be like, this shit is bananas. I'm like, how do y'all be on these dudes' side? Shout out to the Democrats that I know that when I run into them and we talking or whatever the case is, they keep it a whole stack. There's the things about their party that they love, and there's the things about the party that they don't really care for. And they're just honest about it, you know. Because I have friends that they like, yo, look, I'm a Democrat. It is what it is. And, you know, it's hard being a Democrat right now, you know, but there are things that I agree with the party, and there's things that I don't agree with the party. I respect that. That is extremely respectable, in my opinion. I respect that. Verse of the day. 11:11, verse of the day. Romans, chapter 3, verse 23 and 24. For all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption that is Christ Jesus. Once again, verse of the day, Romans chapter 3, verse 23 and 24. This is the King James Version. It reads, for all have sinned and come short of the glory of God, being justified freely by his grace through the redemption, which is Christ Jesus. Amen. So that's also why a lot of things that the Democrats are trying to do, I just can't agree with. I believe in God. And I believe that if you love God, there's just certain things that you just can't agree with. SEX books in children's schools should be one of them. So I got friends of the Democrats. And when they, that some of them are just, they don't have TDS is the point that I'm making. There might be things that they don't like about Trump, and they might not like Trump, but if Trump did something good, they wouldn't dislike it, is the point that I'm making. I don't like Trump. Trump's a jerk. But then Trump does something that helps the American people, and they could applaud that. That was something good he did. I got a friend, a black guy. He's actually Haitian, on the next street. So me and him was having a conversation a while back. Shout out to him. Shout out to his family. Lovely family. So me and him was having a conversation a while back. And I was like, well, Trump is we was talking about tariffs specifically. We had a ton of conversations, political conversations. I would love to bring him on the show. Not for nothing. There's a ton of people I would love to bring on the show, but we don't really do the show outside no more. And I think that we need a place. We have a place right now. I think I'll talk to Coach. I would love to allow for the community to come in and come on the show. We could have a midday show and have, affluent people from the community, or just people from the community in general that would love to talk politics, or just, whatever. We could have them come on. That would be dope. Anyway, in any regard. So me and my friend is having a conversation. I'm not going to call his name because I don't want nobody to mess with him or nothing like that. But he's a good guy. Nice family too. Beautiful family. So he actually works. He's a graphic designer also. He's dope, fam. And he hoop for real. He's dope. All right, he's a cool nigga. Part of my language. So we had a conversation on tariffs, and I was trying to explain to him on tariffs, and he repeated to me back something that the Democrats had told him, and I said, yo, look, that's not what's gonna happen. He says, what's gonna happen then? Shout out to the homie. I have a friend of mine out here also who just takes the most beautiful shots. I'm sorry. We're gonna stop for a minute because I'm out here and I'm praising my friends right now. So I have a friend, he just takes such gorgeous shots. Hold on, let me turn this thing on. Oh, because I left the other one at the center. I gotta go get it. He takes such gorgeous shots. Hold on, let me get this in front of the camera. Just gorgeous shots. That's my homie. I need to follow him. Hold on. I need to follow him. It's not really. I'm gonna share some of his stuff today. He takes gorgeous shots. Look at these shots he's taking. Just gorgeous. He got a real good eye. Anyway, we can't spend but so much time on that. But yeah, if I had, let me move this light a little bit closer. But yeah, I would love to allow for some of the people on the platform in the community to come. If I had a place. Well, I have a place. I guess I could talk to Coach, but we had an inside place where we could have some people come up and talk about some of the things that's going on in the community. Like, even if it was just a community show, like, even if it was just a Coney Island show, I would do it. Like, even if it was just a Seagate show, I would do it. You know what I'm saying? If it was just only a Coney Island show, I would do it. Like, just, even if it's just a show for us that live out here in Coney Island. I don't know why we won't do. Well, we can't because I get harassed like hell. So, if I wasn't getting harassed like hell, we could just have a show that's just for us out here in Coney Island. I'll put it on the internet, everybody can see it, but it'll be a show for us. But I get harassed too much, so I don't even know how possible that is. I would literally need police protection. We doing the show. I need these motherfuckers gonna come try to stop it. I promise you. Part of my language. Sometimes I just curse for exclamation mark. Glasses. All right, so let's get back to what we're talking about. So I'm having this conversation with my friend, and real good guy. I'm having this conversation with him, and so I say, this is what Trump really wants to do with the tariffs. I say the tariffs aren't really for making another country pay. They don't really want the other country to pay the tariffs. The tariffs is to create action and to coerce countries into dealing fairly with us as far as trade practices go. This is much, much deeper than how much an item costs at the store. So I try to explain this, right? And I get all the way through the explanation, and he says, you know what? If that's what Trump do, then I'm for that. I fucks with that energy. Having the ability to say, I might be wrong about this. Hearing what the plan is to actually happen, and even though that plan isn't necessarily your plan, you know what? That's a good idea. If that happens, I'm for it. Shout out to my homie. I don't like the light coming out there. Yeah, shout out to my homie. If that's the idea, I'm for it. It was me and him and another one of my friends over there. He was a white dude. Another one of my friends over there. I specifically tell you who the people I'm talking to is for a reason. I live in a community that has a lot of different types of people in it, and beautiful people, by the way. And I think it's important for us to stop acting like everybody could be everybody. There's beautiful people of every nationality, of every demographic. And sometimes let's just say, look, I was talking to this guy, this woman or this person or whoever it was. And they're a really good person, beautiful individual. And they just happen to be this demographic or that demographic. I think that we need to do more of that, because we do a lot of, I had a bad experience with them there, I don't know, Albanians. I did not have a bad experience with Albanians. I was just thinking of a thing. Shout out to the Albanians. I work with a lot of those guys when I used to do moving, and always good experiences for the most part. You know what I'm saying? Good as experience as with anybody else. As long as you work hard, I don't really care. I could get along with whoever I feel like getting along with for the most part. So as long as you work hard, I don't really care. Got a couple of more things that I want to show you. And then how long is this show going? Because I need lunch. And we're going on 2 hours. I got other stuff that I got to do today. And so we got to get ready to end the show. But I got a ton of clips, a couple of more clips I need to show y'all. So while we're on tariffs, I'm going to have this conversation about tariffs. I need for y'all to understand a couple of things. So let's bring up this screen first. So one of the things tariffs are meant to do is, like I said, convince businesses in other countries in order to deal fairly with America. Right? That's one of the things that tariffs are supposed to do. So there's a company called Taiwan Semiconductors, right? I think that's the name of it. Taiwan Semiconductors? I think that's it. I'm not on I think so. Anyway, so they just did a $100 billion deal with Trump. This is what tariffs do. Why did they do a $100 billion deal with Trump? So when I was talking to my friend, one of the things I expressed was, one of the reasons in which why you do tariffs is because you want companies to build the product in America. You see, if they build the product in America, they don't pay any tariffs. And the reason why you want them to build the product in America is because if they build it here, then that means that they're going to be employing Americans. That means that they're going to be helping build our economy. That means that our money won't just be leaving the country. That means that there's going to be, if they're going to have a vested interest in our actual country. We're business partners. So let's look at this article real quick. Should we do the CBS one? Anyway, let's look at this one. I mean, if we wanted to see BS, right? All presidents of the United States have a bully pulpit from which they lecture the American people, and for the past century, nope, these guys, they going on a big tangent. This guy just wants to show that he's good at writing. So no, we don't care about that. Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing. Well, you see the difference. Taiwan semiconductor manufacturing will pour $100 billion into bolstering chip manufacturing in U.S. For everybody that don't know, Taiwan is the chip capital, the microchip capital of the world. For everybody that don't know, I don't think people understand just how big this deal is. I think they're like the leading. According to current information, Taiwan is widely considered the microchip capital of the world. Do you understand that when these people, and I'm not talking about my friends, I'm literally just talking about other people, not my friends. My friends I'm not talking about. I'm talking about the individuals that come in here and they try to tell me I'm wrong about stuff. Do you really understand how ill-equipped they are to even be having these conversations with me? When these people come into the chat and they just start saying wild stuff and they trying to get, do you understand how ill-equipped they are? In any regard, I'm just trying to express to you how important this deal is. So according to the current information, Taiwan is the microchip capital of the world. And Trump just got them to pour $100 billion into bolstering chip manufacturing in the U.S. You know what else that's going to help? All of the U.S. businesses that need to buy microchips. I do know this, right? I know this. So the president called the investment a tremendous move by the most powerful company in the world. The new capital brings TSMC's total investment in the U.S. to $165 billion and will go towards building 5 new fabrication facilities in Arizona. So isn't that literally what I'm telling you I told my friend, which I did? Isn't this literally what I have told y'all numerous times? Tariffs are not meant to actually go against the item. Tariffs is meant to force whatever company or country to do business fairly with America. That's how we're using our tariffs. So now you know how many people are going to be employed? Because Trump is tariffing countries all over the place. And some people are just saying, you know what, we're just going to go into business with America. Because that's what it means when you say that you're going to invest X amount of dollars in a country. You're going into business with them. So who else wants to go into business with America? Did I spell that right? Yeah. So how is the Saudi Arabian king, prince, I mean, I don't know, is his pops alive? In any regard, right? He's investing $6 billion. Why are they doing this? I told you what tariffs was going to do, didn't I? So he's not even threatening Saudi Arabia with tariffs. They just know we want to be in business with America. Now, why Trump is in business with America? Because Trump's only going to be president for 4 years. So we get in business with America right now while Trump is at the beginning of his administration. We can benefit to the end of his administration. Even if the administration's changed next term and instead of a Republican being president, it's a Democrat and their mandates change, we can still benefit right now for this 4 years. And that's why the Saudi Arabian prince said, I'm going to invest $6 billion. Because imagine the trillions he plans on making. Remember, Trump is changing laws and regulations in America that's making it more profitable for people to do business in America. Democrats are against it, apparently. You want to know another reason why these tariffs are a thing? Because Trump says, and rightfully so, if Mexico and Canada don't help with the fentanyl problem coming through our borders, we're going to hit them with tariffs. That's what that 25% is about. Everybody thinks the majority of the fentanyl is coming through Mexico. When in reality, it's actually coming through Canada. Now I'm going to show you this.
The territory to the immediate south of our border is now dominated entirely by criminal cartels that murder, rape, torture, and exercise total control. They have total control over a whole nation, posing a grave threat to our national security. The cartels are waging war on America, and it's time for America to wage war on the cartels, which we are doing.
Hold on. So Democrats can't clap when we're fighting against cartels. So the Democrats don't want America to beat the cartels. The Democrats want the cartels to win. How are y'all voting for these people? He's talking about taking out the cartels. How are the Democrats not clapping? I think these are good questions, by the way. I think these are good, fair questions.
If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff. If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. Other countries have used tariffs against us for decades, and now it's our turn to start using them against those other countries. On average, the European Union, China, Brazil, India, Mexico and Canada, have you heard of them? And countless other nations charge us tremendously higher tariffs than we charge them. It's very unfair. India charges us auto tariffs higher than 100%. China's average tariff on our products is twice what we charge them. And South Korea's average tariff is 4 times higher. Think of that, 4 times higher. This system is not fair to the United States and never was. And so on April 2nd, I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to be accused of April Fool's Day. That's not, just one day cost us a lot of money. But we're going to do it in April. I'm a very superstitious person. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth. Whatever they tax us, we will tax them.
I'm about to get up out of here, but I want to explain something real quick before we walk out the door. What did I say before the election? I said Trump is going to win. I said after Trump wins, it's going to be like 8, somewhere between 6 or 7 months, probably 8 months, where people are going to then start understanding that Trump being elected was good. And when I say people, I mean the people who are against, and not everybody. I just mean some of them is going to start coming around. And it's going to be so many that come around that basically what's going to happen is it's going to keep the Democrats out of office for a long time. See, Democrats are backed into a corner because they fought so hard to convince you wanted things that you did not want. That now that people realize that they don't want these things, the Democrats can't go back and say we made a mistake because they fought too hard to cause the problem. The only way to fix the Democratic Party is to kick the people that's in charge out. So if Donald Trump starts arresting people that's at the top, that's better for the Democratic Party. It's like when you have a plant and you trim the dead leaves and the dead branches. That's what it's like. It's like pruning. They need to be pruned, the Democratic Party. A lot of these people who are in positions of authority, positions of power over there, need to be removed. And there's other Democrats that need to come up and take their place. That's just it. There is no other thing that can happen and keep the Democratic Party at the top. It's either that or we need a third party to come and take their place. They have lost the trust of the American people. And by the end of the summer, the beginning of fall, by next damn Thanksgiving, I just don't think they're going to be able to make a comeback with their current lineup. They need for some people to get traded, injured, retire. Their current lineup just ain't it. Check this out.
And now I want Congress to pass a bill permanently banning and criminalizing sex changes on children and forever ending the lie that any child is trapped in the wrong body. This is a big lie. And our message to every child in America is that you are perfect exactly the way God made you.
I need for y'all to understand what's going on.
And now I want Congress to...
Everything that they have been promoting, the American people have rejected. If y'all want to save y'all party, y'all got to start leaning on the up-and-coming people. Y'all got to get away from all of these people that have been pushing all of these policies that America has rejected. For the next 4 years, we're going to be living in a more sane America. He said that he's going to get the death penalty for drug dealers. I don't think people understand what's going to happen in the hood. They said, let's stop for a second. Death penalty for drug dealers, death penalty for people that kill police. I don't think you understand what's about to happen in the hood. I don't think you understand how clean the hood is going to start becoming in the next couple of years. I don't think you understand. Now, I don't want people to be just given the death penalty. I want to be clear on this. And I don't think the hood is going to get better because people are going to get the death penalty. I think the hood is going to get better because there's going to be actual consequences. I don't think the consequence of going to prison for 20 years, people care about that much anymore. I don't think the consequence of people going to jail for 5 years, there's a lot of people that don't care about 5 years at all. Like, at all. Like, if they know the crime that they're committing is going to get them only 5 years, fuck it. Let's take the chance. Andrew Delay, shout out to Andrew. He says, ninjas gonna think twice right before they have a situation with a police officer now. Yeah. Are there police officers that need to be held accountable for the way that they do their job because they're terrible? Absolutely. We ain't gonna act like that's not a thing. But we're not gonna act like one of the main reasons why the streets is effed up right now is because the good police can't do their job. Then you're gonna say no police is good. And I'm gonna say, well, some people say no blacks are good. How about that? Yeah, but they're racist. So what do you perceive your perspective of the police being that none are good to be? It's okay when you do it. The streets are going to get so clean. Because I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. And I been saw something like this on the horizon. And the reason why I'm saying that is once they deregulated marijuana, basically, decriminalized, marijuana to the degree that it's been decriminalized, that means that they could put more of an onus on drugs like fentanyl. Now, I'm one of those people that I don't even care if they chase people selling cocaine at this point. I want y'all to go get them niggas fucking with the fentanyl. After that, we can look at the other drugs. But right now, I want America to focus on all of them fentanyl traffickers. Anybody dealing in fentanyl. All the other drugs, I think, should take a back seat. I think that if you have the opportunity to arrest people doing whatever they're doing, go for it. But I think fentanyl is what is specifically what this is for. I don't think this death penalty for people doing drugs is for marijuana. I don't think it's for cocaine. I don't think it's for crack. I think it's for heroin and fentanyl. I want to be clear on this. I can be wrong. And it obviously could be used in a myriad of different ways that I probably haven't even considered. But I think this is to fight the fentanyl and heroin epidemic. To fight the pill epidemic. To make it so that these doctors that's illegally giving out prescriptions epidemic. Wink, wink. I don't know. I usually hit these things nail on head. Let's see what happens. I usually hit these things nail on head. Let's see what happens. With that being said, I'm going to let y'all go. I need to get to some grub. There's some stuff that I'm supposed to do today before I go to the center. And I need to get to it because I don't think it's a thing that I can hold off. So, shout out to everybody that pulled up to the chat. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate everybody that commented. I never have my alerts on. I always have my alerts. Let me tell you what happened this morning, and then we're going to get up out of here. So I always have all of my sounds on my phone off. So, like, everything's always on mute. Everything. Every noise your phone can make is on mute. Almost at all times. That's why previously, whenever we're doing a live, you might be able to hear the vibrations of my phone vibrating, but you never really hear it. That's why today you hear it, but generally you don't. So today I misplaced my phone. I had no idea where I put it. So I'm looking for my phone like, shit, I just had it like in my hand. You know, I had stuff in my brain. So you could be like, hey, Google, set the alarm for 3 seconds.
There, your alarm's set for 11:42 a.m.
So I had did that in order to try to find the phone. But the problem was I had all of my volumes on mute. So when it did start fucking ringing, it didn't ring right now because the dang thing is that particular setting is, I believe, is on mute. It's going off, but it's low. So yeah, so I turned the volumes on my phone on. So, so I was like, you know what? That's, and for anybody else that might misplace their phone, so boom, and there you go. I just helped you out. With that being said, I love y'all. Go out in the world today. Do something worth doing. Stamp God's name on it. Let people know that you work for God. You are in the body of Christ. Like, comment, subscribes. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Boomers. Let's get it. I love y'all. Take care of each other. Hug the kids for me. That's all I got on this one. I'm out.
Hey! Is the noon train on time?
Supposed to be.
Feels like it's time.
Fair enough.